See social media yesterday? People were writing articles. I didn't even know Deadspin existed. They came from the underground like Undertaker. Oh, let's write an article on why the morning roast is stupid for asking what the fans want to know about Andrew Wiggins or whether or not how you feel about the situation. Nobody's speculating. That was just so bad. I'm still annoyed by that. But Bob Myers, GM and president of basketball operations, joined Steiny and Guru yesterday, and they asked him a couple questions about his future, about Andrew Wiggins, and here's what Myers had to say about Andrew Wiggins.
Nothing different than before, but same answer,
Okay.
unfortunately. I get why you got to ask. I get why the fans are interested. There's nothing wrong with that. But we got to respect him and his life and his privacy, just like I would respect yours. But that doesn't mean people have to like that answer. But in our opinion, it's the right answer. Certainly, I'm sure he wants to be here. We want him here. But beyond that, I can't help shed light, because if I was in the situation he's in, I asked people to keep it private, I hope they would. So just honoring that, respecting that.
Gotcha.
Nothing really new. I shared last time that it wasn't the plan that he wouldn't be back. I know some people have reported that. I haven't heard anything along the lines of he's not coming back. There's speculation on that, but I haven't been told, hey, look, I'm not coming back. Nobody said that to me.
So that's Bob Myers. You would think that people will talk to Bob Myers about that situation. I know where Colin Coward got that intel from, saying that Wiggins is not coming back. But that's Bob Myers, who joined Steiny and Guru yesterday at 1 o'clock for the executive show. So nothing new to report. But he says he should, he doesn't anticipate him not coming back. So that would help the Golden State Warriors, no doubt about that, because Steph Curry's magnificent. You're 20 and 28. He scores 50, hits 8 threes. And I feel weak for trying to celebrate it. It's a loss. It's a loss. You lost the game, and he's dropped 50. 2 times he's dropped 50 this year, and in both games they lost.
That's bad. Oh, man.
Steph was incredible, and I feel cheap by celebrating the game.
Well, it seemed like, I'm not looking into his soul, but it did feel like he was very frustrated, just in general. And how could he not be? He's on fire, and he's trying to will this team to a victory on the road, and it feels like nobody else can meet him halfway in terms of defensive intensity. He even had a steal on Morris. It felt like he was really trying. He tried to draw a charge on another play. Like, they're a very confusing team, Monte, to watch on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's a frustrating team to watch. You just don't. Well, actually, you know what you're going to get at home, and you know what you're going to get on the road.
Yeah, wins and losses.
Wins at home, losses on the road. 7-27 away from Chase Center. Bob Myers, starting Curse, asked him about his future as GM and president of basketball operations. Got to ask a question, folks. Here's what Myers had to say.
No, nothing new. Same stuff. I mean, there's a lot with our team right now that's taking up all my time anyway. So same answer, Steinmetz.
Sounds a little stressed, Bob. I love you, Bob. A lot of things going on with the basketball team. They're still 6th in the Western Conference. You're still in the box. They'd be in the 6th spot right now. Not the worst thing in the world if you can play the Kings or Memphis Grizzlies. But even if you don't have your guys back, if you don't have Gary Payton II back, or if you don't have Andrew Wiggins back, are the Warriors good enough to beat Sacramento and Memphis? I don't think they're good enough to get past those teams without those 2 players.
Monte, I do this for a living. I watch this team nonstop. You do this for a living. I don't know what to make of this team. Just when I feel like I figured them out, they completely prove me wrong. I say, oh, they've turned the corner. Nope, they haven't. I write them off. Oh, here we are. We're back again. I don't know what to make of them. It's very frustrating. I mean, it just is. I thought Kawhi Leonard was nowhere near the defender that he was just a couple years ago. And then he has a game like last night, and I'm like, oh, you know what?
He's back.
Yeah, he's throttling up and down depending on if he wants to play defense or not. He was brilliant last night. And then Russell Westbrook, to me, out hustling the Warriors. It wasn't just like, oh, good for Russ. It was sad. It was sad seeing the Warriors get out hustled by Russell Westbrook.
He played well yesterday.
He did.
Played really well. If he plays like that moving forward, you know what? That Clippers are going to be tough to beat. That'll be a dynamic first-round series. Let's go to Adam in San Francisco. Adam, what's happening? You're on the roast. Oh, Adam, you there? Oh,
Hi.
There you go, Adam. What's up, Adam?
Hey guys, how are ya? It's been a while.
Been a while.
You're
How you
chipper
doing?
today.
Huh? I mean, I'm watching a friend's dog actually, so I'm really stoked. No, I just wanted to call in just to say, like, I mean, we all know this, but it is incredible of the kind of superstar Steph is. 4-time champion, 2-time MVP. He gets the worst whistle in history. It's laughable. Like, no, they did not lose that game last night because of officiating. They got out hustled on the second chance points, the fouls. But I mean, that third quarter, the Clippers shot 12 free throws, and I felt like, and I counted at least 5 times Steph drives to the rim that he gets pushed in the back, shoved to the ground. There was at least 5 calls that were just not made for Steph, and it's like there's the difference in the game right there. And it's just like it's almost like blatant at this point. The man never gets called, and like I don't get why.
Yeah. Look, 0 free throws in the third quarter for the Warriors, 12 for the Clippers. But again, to me, when you lose 27-11 in second chance points, you lose a fast break points 19-14. You lose points in the points off turnovers 20-11. Points in the paint, the Warriors were able to close that gap 50-48. But when you don't lose those things and you give up 16 threes, again, these teams are coming in watching the Warriors and they're saying, oh, we averaged 12 threes made a game. We could get more than that. And the Clippers did. 16 threes made last night by the LA Clippers, shooting 47% from the three-point line. No resistance on the perimeter. So we can talk about the whistles all you want to till we're blue in the face. There's going to be bad calls in every single game. I did not walk away from that game saying, boy, the referees really chopped the Warriors. No. I walked away from that game saying the Clippers wanted it just a little bit more than you did. Why? Because of the offensive rebounds. They win that 16-7. Why? Because of the physicality. Going to the rack. Looking for fouls. It was smart. They knew they were in the bonus in the third quarter. Ty Lue started setting up plays. There's one instance when Paul George is posting up Stephen Curry saying, you know what? We're going to play to get the foul. We're going to slow this game down, and we're going to go set our defense. So now we can lock in with 10 eyes on Stephen Curry. That's not on the refs. It's not. It's on the Warriors. They're not defending. They're not boxing out. They're getting blown by. They're leaving the short corner. They're leaving the weak side corner. It's not the referees. We could cry about Curry getting calls all the time. I did not walk away from that game last night at Crypto.com arena and said, boy, Warriors got a terrible whistle. Boy, referees didn't help them at all. No, I walked away saying, you got out-hustled. And they beat you up physically.
No, I
and you had no answer for Zubac. And you had no answer for Kawhi Leonard. And again, the defensive woes on the road reared its ugly head.
I agree with you, but there is both can be true. They played horrific defense, and that's why they lost. But the overall arch of his career, he does not get enough free throw attempts. Like that can be true. And we see this a lot. I got a text while you're talking, Bonte. Jump shooters don't get calls. Jump shooters don't get calls. What's Trae Young? Is he a jump shooter?
He goes to the basket too, though, and he draws fouls. Does Curry
not go to the basket? We were just lauding him for how he can finish with both hands around the rim.
But he doesn't look good for fouls. Trae Young does it a little bit. We'll watch Friday night how Trae Young does it.
averages almost twice as many free throw attempts.
Go watch his games.
I mean,
go watch his games. He has the ball in his hands a lot more too.
Probably, but that doesn't mean
there's no doubt he does.
That doesn't mean that you can't call the foul attempts. This misnomer that all Steph does is shoot threes. No, he attacks the hoop. Like yesterday, part of that great third quarter, how many of those were drives to the hoop? How many were some sort of like push shot as he's moving, like coming in? Like I dismiss that. Yeah. No one is saying he needs to get 15 attempts a game, but him getting 5.4 attempts, which is what he's at now, is criminal.
It's not the best thing
in the world. It's unbecoming of a player of his status.
Watch Trae Young Friday night and see how he gets to the free throw line. Just watch it.
No, I know. And he whines and complains and cries and is rewarded.
Maybe he did start complaining then. Start whining.
Dame Lillard even averages 8-9 free throw attempts. He doesn't attack the hoop anywhere near as much.
He attacks the basket.
More than Curry?
He attacks the basket.
I don't know. I feel like
he attacks.
I feel like Steph and the team needs to be more outgoing in terms of the officials at some point. That's my particular opinion. You're right. That wasn't the reason why they lost, but it is an ongoing story of his career. Is the fan frustration watching their superstar not get a proportionate amount of calls in comparison to other superstars. That's all.
Let's go ahead and bitch and moan about the foul calls now.
No, it's just
I hear
it's
you,
just
man.
part
I
of
hear
it.
you.
I'm not saying it's
Look,
not why they're
Curry,
losing.
Did Curry
It's not.
deserve a couple more whistles? Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
That's
Does
all.
he deserve a couple more whistles? But that's not. But this is what fans do. Some fans, I'm not pointing the ball, getting bombarded with. Man, they didn't give Curry all these at once. Man, they flipped the game. They should have won the game.
No,
the
that's
referees
not-
blew
that's-
it. Watch the other end of the floor. Watch the physicality teams are attacking the Warriors with. They give up 134.
Well, but here's an example. Like last night's game, right? And again, this isn't why they lost.
And we always knew the referees are tail
But like, okay, Paul George is harassing Curry on his hip, hacking him for whatever, 3/4 of the length. And then Paul George gets the ball on the very next possession, and Moses Moody beats him to the spot, and Paul George initiates contact.
All right.
Automatic foul on Moody.
Here we go. Okay, so the third quarter flipped. Do you know the Warriors in the fourth quarter were in the bonus with 9 minutes and 40
I know
plus
it,
seconds
and
left?
they didn't attack the hoop more.
There you go,
I agree.
Shasky.
I
There you
agree.
go.
And that
so
goes
the
back to
referees did give the Warriors a friendly whistle in the last quarter to get back into the game.
And they didn't take
I go,
advantage of it.
Oh man, go to the basket. You can slow the game down. And what they do, they kept chucking.
Well, because
kept chucking.
this goes back to my offensive argument. When Steph's out of the game, it feels like their offense is extremely inconsistent, and then the IQ of the team starts to rear its ugly head. And then instead of attacking, they settle for bad threes.
So when the Warriors even get the benefit of the doubt early in the fourth quarter, they were in the bonus with 9 minutes and change left last night. They had plenty of opportunities to go to the free throw line and flip the free throw discrepancy.
I'm with you.
And what happened? They stopped going to the basket. Why? Because they don't have too many guys who can get to the basket.
And that goes back to the athleticism, the lack of athleticism, and then how you're utilizing the personnel that you have out there. We saw it last night on display. When Steph and Kuminga ran that high pick and roll, it was buckets.
I hear you. I hear you with the Steph stuff. Trust me. He deserves a couple more calls.
No, but it's
even
not
when
why
the
they
Warriors,
lost.
but there's
It's not why they lost.
also so many times where I see the Warriors getting to the bonus early in the quarter and they don't attack. They just don't.
Well, and they don't have the bodies to attack, and nor do they have the personnel to attack. Like, for example, like Draymond Green. I don't really want him attacking the hoop and going to the free throw line.
Why? Stop the game.
Yeah,
Set
but
your
he's
defense
not a confident free throw shooter, right?
That's
Like,
another
you're asking me why. I'm telling you why.
Well,
like when you have a bunch of non-shooters out there at times, it can get congested.
Then why do we complain about the foul calls if we don't have good free throw shooters? We don't want them on the line.
Well, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about Steph Curry. Just the overall body of work of his game, it does feel like he doesn't get whistles. Like, that's true, but it's also not why they're losing. That's a different argument.